Welcome everybody to today's webinar on how to create wellness and employee engagement during COVID-19. My name is Christelle Rinn and I'm the Head of Marketing and Product here at HRLocker. One of the reasons why we chose this subject to talk about at this month's webinar was because we here at HRLocker ran a very successful wellness initiative last week, and we wanted to share how we did it, what really worked, and what lessons we learned from it as well. And also, I suppose we just wanted to check in with everybody to see how everybody was doing during this time. It's a little bit crazy at the moment, so it's nice sometimes just to get a bit of downtime, just to get away from the computer for a while. So we've all been on lockdown for the last few weeks. In the beginning, we were scrambling, trying to get organized for a new way of working from home, but now reality has certainly set in, certainly for myself anyway. And I think we might be working like this for the next few weeks to come. And I think, people are starting to feel a lot of pressure around it. Certainly, I was trying to get Google Classrooms working before this webinar. So a lot of us have kids at home who were trying to homeschool and work and juggle everything, and as well as still trying to stay upbeat and engaged. And so that's really, I suppose, why we took the approach to reach out to our employees and to create a wellness week, really just to help keep them engaged and keep the morale up during these difficult times. So during this webinar, what I'd like to cover is basically how to create a wellness initiative in your own company. I'll show you how you can use the dashboard to create your daily wellness tasks and communicate that out to your employees. And I'll show you how in the project section in the timesheet area, it's a really nice way to record the time that people have spent in regards to each of the wellness initiatives. And then in the RTR section, so that's our performance management section, how we finish off the week with a scheduled call, and also how we use sentiments tab within the RTR section. And then what I'd like to do at the end is to give you a sneak peek at a new update that we'll be having next week in regards to NPS, which is the Net Promoter Score, which you can use for your own employee engagement. So before COVID-19, here at HRLocker, we had a lot of initiatives around corporate social responsibility and around employee engagement. We're blessed to live by the coast here in Ireland. So, a lot of the employee engagement and get fit things are really aimed towards that beach line that we have. So one of the things that we like to do is one day a week we have a lunchtime ramble down to the beach. We encourage people to take their lunch with them, and we invite all members of staff to go down, bring their lunch, sit on Lahinch Beach, and just to reset the brain. We like to do a quick 30 minutes, stop, eat our lunch before heading back to the office. If anybody wants to take a quick swim, we encourage that as well. Jen here in the office, every Monday she buys a box full of fruit and leaves it in the office as well. And we got a local personal trainer as well to come and take a class at lunchtime with us. So we did a short circuit class. Not everybody participated in that, but for those who did, the classes were of great benefit and great use. And then we also organized a yoga instructor to come and give a class once a week. And again, not everybody participated in that. These are not mandatory, but we do strongly recommend that people to participate. All classes are subsidized by the company, so the cost is not too prohibitive for our employees. And it shows that we care. We had to change our directive to operate how we operate things here, and kind of how can we continue this CSR employee engagement program remotely. So we tried it last week. We entered into an employee engagement week, a wellness week is what we coined it here. So the first thing that we did was on a Monday. So on your lunch break, weather permitting, go for that walk for at least 30 minutes a day. Stay within your 2-kilometer radius, and we just encouraged employees to take a picture of their step count if they wanted to. Take a picture of where they were walking to. Some guys put up pictures of themselves walking out with their kids and things like that. So just get out for that 30 minutes. It's really important just to keep the brain a boost and get away from staring at the laptop all day long. On Tuesday, we did a Zoom yoga. So we picked a YouTube for beginners. So my own personal favorite is Yoga with Adrian, and I can share with anybody a link at the end of this if they like. We picked a beginner's video, which was really important just to make sure that all levels of people could engage with the class. And as a group, we decided that we'd leave our cameras on. So there's nothing quite like seeing a lot of your colleagues doing the downward dog position on the screen. So that was very entertaining, and it was actually a really good laugh for people. Wednesday, what we try to do is we assign to each employee a person from their department to send them an email outlining what strengths they have and why they enjoy working with them. So it was a great way to give a little morale boost and a little high five to anyone who might be feeling a little bit isolated. And then Thursday, my personal favorite, we had a virtual pub night. So we use Microsoft Teams here. They just released the new backgrounds. So we told everybody to choose a funky background, make a cocktail, and have a chat. Rule number 1, no work talk. The first one to mention work goes on our list, and we will be they'll be the first to buy a round when the next staff night rolls around, once this lockdown is lifted. And on Friday, managers, check in with their people to do a wellness check. Again, no work talk, just how are you? These usually take place after the weekly review session here. And we encourage people to use the sentiment tab to keep track of any emotional well-being for each employee. So now I'm going to run through how we did it through HRLocker. I'm just going to open up HRLocker here. So once you have your initiative set up, we advise that one way of keeping the initiative fresh every day is to release a daily task in your dashboard. So you'd come here to HRLocker, you'd add a new notice board here. And I'm going to change it. So I'm going to put that. Okay, that's one for Thursday, and you'd submit. So once you submit a dashboard notification, everybody gets an email notification to tell people what exactly the initiative was for the day. And you can change that every day. So, if you want to put in Tuesdays there in regards to yoga, you can come in here, you can edit it and change it for Tuesdays one. And then those emails go out again. So I like to post them every single day just to keep people guessing to see what initiative we were going to have for that day. And then the way we kind of track it is we would go to the time on section here, and we track it here in the project section. So you see here I have a project called Wellness. I'll just show you how you set that up. You go here to the project section. You'd add a project, create Wellness. Okay. And then you'd assign that, here it is, you'd assign it to everybody in the office. So you'll see here all these people have been assigned to that project. And then once, say, for example, we start doing online yoga, or we go on for that walk, I'd encourage people to come in here and press the start button. And you'll see here it's starting to record time in regards to that wellness project. So start clocking up the time until the person has finished the class or finished the Joe Wicks or whatever it is, and they come back here and they'll press stop, and the amount of time that they've spent on the project will accumulate here. This is a really nice way to kind of gauge who's actually engaging with the program, because one of the main things in regards to any wellness initiative you're doing, any employee engagement initiative that you're doing, is that your employees are actually engaging with the process. Because if they're not actually engaging with it, it's not working. So you need to change it if they're not engaging with it. So this is a nice way to actually report on who actually took part in it, what things actually worked. So, for us, we could see on a Thursday night when it was cocktail night, everybody was there, everybody engaged with it. Tuesday, we had about 70% engagement on online yoga day. So for those people who didn't actually engage in online yoga, we went back to them and said, what would you like to do instead? Is there anything else that might take precedent over that? So I'll just show you how to report on this. So you go into the reports section here. You go into time on, and then there's a project section there. And your wellness project will be listed here. I'll just show you the admin project here. So everybody's name will be listed here. It's been assigned to. You'll see how many hours or minutes, how much time that they've spent on the wellness initiative. So you'll be able to really gauge what's worked, what hasn't worked, what areas you need to improve on, who's not really engaging with it. And you might want to reach out to them to figure out, what's going on, why aren't they engaging with the initiative? Because that's the key. Having the initiatives is the first hurdle, but the next hurdle is to make sure that everybody's actually engaging with it. Because the objective is that that as a company, you do have a responsibility to your employees to actually, keep their mental health up, make sure that they're engaged, make sure that they're happy and healthy, and that's the actual objective of this initiative. It's not just to create an initiative and throw it out there. You need to make sure you're following up with it to make sure that people are actually engaged in the initiative. So then at the end of the week, I have an RTR with everybody at the end of the week, every month. Sorry, every week. My apologies. And so I'd go into the RTR section here. And so every week, every Friday, I do have a scheduled call, a scheduled catch up. And one of the things I wanted to focus on with people was, we'd have the rundown of the week, so any issues they may have had, any things they need help with or anything like that. Then I just wanted to focus on, how's everything going? Some of them have kids at home who I know they're homeschooling. Some of them have, moms and dads who may be sick with COVID-19 at the moment, or some of them may be, their partners are healthcare workers or frontline workers. And there's a lot of stress around at the moment. So, in the situation we are in today, people's home lives are intertwined with their work lives, and that's just the reality of it. And that's why, as a company, reaching out to people and asking how they are, what's affecting their day-to-day lives, it's really important to be able to support them through this time. And what I suggested to people was to make sure you're coming in here and putting your sentiments down as well. In here, that they actually gauge their sentiment. So how did they find their week? Did they find their week challenging? What are they finding difficult? I mean, for myself personally, I'm finding the homeschooling very challenging with the kids. I have 3 boys at home. And so for me, balancing work as well as homeschooling has been a significant challenge. And, just to have that kind of chat with other people to say that everybody's having the same issue and everybody's in the same boat, and to really just kind of gauge how's everything going. And that's an important part of being a manager and managing people remotely, is just to have that kind of personal check-in, that wellness check-in as well. So some companies are very happy with just to have that report in regards to the projects and the sentiment value there. But if you would prefer to actually gauge the amount of time that people are spending in regards to CSR or to wellness, and you actually need to report out on it in regards to, as a CPD section, you can do that here in CPD. CPD here from the black ribbon. You'll see here I have a wellness initiative here that's already been allocated to me. You'll also see it's not mandatory. So I'm going to add a record here. I might put in here that it was wellness, sorry, wellness 2020 for April. The amount of hours. So this is really in regards to CPD, if you need to report out on any CSR or wellness that you're doing. Delivery method at the moment, pretty much all online. So we're going to put in online e-learning here, and the pillar. So the pillar will be under health and safety. And you'd submit that, and that record then would be allocated against the individual. And you'd also be able to report out then who actually participated in the initiative, how many hours were actually clocked up in regards to CPD. You can assign these CPD items to individuals or per company or per department, whatever your preference is there. So, during this time, it's really important that if you do have that CSR policy or that wellness initiative policies, that you are looking at them again and kind of rejigging them in regards to today's working environment. So obviously most of us have remote workers at the moment. So how can you change that CSR initiative into a remote working CSR initiative or a remote working wellness initiative? Maybe update your handbooks. For those of you who don't have a handbook, we do have a template section within HRLocker that you can download a free handbook, or if you don't have principles or behaviors that we do have free templates there for that. How to set up a wellness initiative in your own organization. If you have any questions about how you can best implement it, please get in touch and we'll be happy to help. Now, what I'm going to do is show you a sneak peek in regards to this new MPS that we'll be releasing next week. How you would record your Net Promoter Score. So you'll see here there's a little pop-up box that'll come up here at the bottom of the screen. So you can set how often you want this to come up. So it can come up once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a month, whatever your own preference is. You can also change what the question is. So here I have, how are you feeling today? But you can put in there, how are you finding remote working, or, how are you finding your job at the moment, or anything like that that's relevant to your own company. And the person would rate that between 1 to 10. And it would give you that net promoter score. And it's something that you can continuously work on and improve on. So that'll be released next week, guys. If anybody has any questions about that, please come back to me afterwards, and I'll be happy to bring you through it and turn it on for you. So thanks everybody for watching, and we hope you found today useful, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend and stay safe. Thanks for watching.